Hey everybody, welcome back. It's good to see you all here. I hope you're having as good a day as you can possibly have. It's getting a little more challenging each day we go by, but we're doing the best we can. Anybody who has watched my videos knows my tagline that I try to put in every one of my videos is Wander, Wisdom, Horses, History. And there's a reason that I named it as such. First of all, I love to wander. I love to travel. I've always loved to travel. I wasn't always able to do it. So for the past 2 years, almost, I have been going to different places and trying to bring you videos that I thought you'd like. Find places that, for me, in a lot of ways, they have a historical connection to who I am and who my family is. And I still have a few more that are in the raw, right, shall we say. The horses part comes from 50 years of working race horses. And I have worked harness, I've worked flats, and I've worked steeplechase. 50 years. The history part is because I am very connected to history. It's my thing, but I have ancestors and family that were part of some very important times in American history. And I grew up in a very historical place, so history has a very important part in my life. As far as the wisdom is concerned, that you'll have to take with a grain of salt, and for what it's worth, you can figure that out. One of the things that I've always liked to do is to write. Now, I'm a terrible journalist, journal, where you have to write something every day. I'm terrible at that. I can get about 2 days in. I may have an outline of what I want to say, but I'm terrible at putting it all down on paper. Although I have been told by a lot of people that have read some of my stuff, is that I have a very strong voice. I'm just not very good at journaling. And after about 2 days, I get really bored with it and I stop doing it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not a writer. There are times when things will happen, and the only way that I can sleep is if I go home and I write it down. So, that being said, we get to what, the title of my YouTube channel is Girl on the Go. And like I said, for the last 2.5 years or 2 years, I've been trying to go places. Unfortunately, because of the gas prices, in particular, I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to do. I still want to do some, but I've heard some doom and gloom people who are in the know with some pretty frightening numbers by the end of this year. So we'll have to see. So in order to make up for some of the places that I wanted to go, I thought maybe I would start talking about some of the experiences I had as a horseman. 50 years, like I said, 50 years working for a couple of some of the best people in the business. I worked for 2 Hall of Famers, one in harness and one in thoroughbreds. And like I said, I've got 50 years worth of stories. And because I am a writer at heart, I don't know how dedicated writer, but I'm a writer at heart. One of the things that I did maybe 10, 15 years ago was I wrote a poem down. I found as you leave the horse business, you get more and more used to people who have never been around horses, who don't know what the horse life is like. It's a very different world, and if you maybe bet on a horse once a year, you go to the Kentucky Derby, or you might, your friend might have a horse, and there's a race at the local fair track, but that's your main existence, and that's most people's main experience with horses. They know absolutely nothing about the life, and it's filled with ups and downs, a lot of lean times, and we can get into that as we go along. But I just thought it would be interesting to start reliving some of my stories for people, and just see what happens. If you're not into horses, that's okay. Not everybody is. And maybe you can try and check out some of my other videos. My travel videos are really cool. But, horses aren't necessarily for everybody. But I think the stories that come about because of the life and the day-to-day dealings with what was going on, how you lived, which that isn't even the same as it was. It's changed. It's very different from the years that I was in horses. And I was in horses from the mid-70s to the end of the 1980s. That was the bulk of my harness time. And then I've been involved in horses since then, but not in the same way as I was those years. So I thought, like I said, I thought I'd read you this poem that I wrote, and it was from the perspective of a 20-something year, at that time, 20-something, maybe 30-something year experience working with racehorses. It is geared toward our life as in harness racing, but it could pass for life in any of the disciplines. So, without further ado, I am going to read you this poem that I wrote, like I said, 10, 15 years ago. And hopefully you'll enjoy it, you'll get something out of it, and maybe you'll come away with a little bit more understanding of what it's like to be a horseman. What does it mean to be a groom? Written October 2nd, 2014. By me, Linda Fountain. What does it mean to be a groom? It means moving into dormitories with no air conditioning in the summer and no heat in the winter. It's being the only girl in a guy's dorm because their dorm is right next to the barn, while the girls' dormitory is a mile away. It's learning to live with people you absolutely can't stand. It's learning that there is no such thing as privacy anywhere on a racetrack. You can never tell when someone is going to open the door, and you will be standing there as God made you. It's cute grooms and even cuter trainers. It's watching the sale and hoping your trainer bought that bay colt with the white blaze, or the gray filly that was built like a brick shit house. Means getting the least promising horses in the stable because you still have much to prove. Means getting the best pick of the new yearlings because sometimes loyalty trumps horsemanship. It's the anticipation every fall when the new crop starts training. Everyone is destined to be a champion. It's waiting patiently until your 3-year-old returns from farm rest to start training for his 4-year-old season and staying up all night after he arrives, making sure he's settled back in. Means arriving at the barn before daybreak, barn work and horse care all morning, cleaning equipment all afternoon, and feeding at 4, racing at night and feeding again before bed. Means waking up and doing it all over the next day. Means shipping and setting up your equipment on Sunday, jogging on Monday, jogging on Tuesday, training on Wednesday, jogging on Thursday, jogging on Friday, and racing on Saturday almost every week of the year. It's being dropped off at a racetrack where you know no one and no one knows you. Just you and your horse. The two of you have to learn how to stand alone, and the relief when you realize you can do it. It's praying your horse will come out of the race unscathed, cooling him out, hosing his legs, cleaning his tack, and then falling asleep on a bale of hay in front of his stall. It means reassuring words from your trainer and smack talk from the grooms of your competition. It's getting that big hug from that very same groom who only hours before was questioning why you thought your horse could possibly beat the best colt in the world. It means tears when you lose. It means tears when you win. It means learning to accept your losses and celebrate your wins with equal humility, and commiserating together as you all cool out your horses in the same walking ring. It means learning not to take your wins and losses personally, because there will almost always be another day, another race. What does it mean to be a groom? It means keeping your stall picked and your horse's head cleaned. That's the first thing your owner will see. It's the fact that a bad groom can ruin a good horse. It's the fact that a good groom can make a good horse great. It's the fact that a great groom can overcome most setbacks and keep a horse racing and winning against the toughest of competition. It means staying with one horse throughout his entire racing career and seeing him good enough to earn stallion status, or seeing your mare good enough to be bred to the best stallions. It means knowing that the smallest injury can end your horse's career. It means knowing that your horse may be claimed by another stable. It means knowing that your owner may decide to change trainers. It means knowing that horses can be fragile creatures, and accidents, while rare, do occasionally happen. It means memorizing the words of your trainers. Don't fall in love with them, they're not pets. And watching that same trainer cross his own words when he deals with his emotions, when the unthinkable does happen. It means hearing someone you know, someone you care about, has died penniless, leaving only a scrapbook full of win photos and newspaper clippings. It means being greeted in the morning with the news that yet another promising horseman has been taken because he thought he could handle life in the fast lane. He couldn't. It means seeing brilliant horsemen battered and bruised when their horse stumbles. Some never walk again. Others succumb to their injuries, leaving us much too soon. It means hearing the wisdom from an old friend, know when to get out, and following it. It means knowing you would never do any of it differently if you had to do it all over again. That's what it means to be a groom. So thank you for watching this video, sticking with us. If you did, I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. It was my pleasure to bring it to you. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again maybe a little later.